first here in this one.
Well, that's how you take advantage of an early turnover. A sudden change situation, meaning ball's turned over. How's both sides going to handle it? One side handled it way better. They went right out on the field and put the ball in the end zone.
One play, that just added insult to injury.
Yeah, that just tells you on the defensive side, they didn't come out ready to go, still reeling from the fact that the ball got turned over.
Brandon Aubrey now for the extra point. And the 49ers grab a 7-0 lead.
That's the score. Niners 7, Seahawks nothing.
So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Here is 3rd and 5.
Now 3rd and 5.
Back to throw here. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
At the 50-yard line.
A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. And Charles, with that completion, I'm told that puts him over 3,000 yards passing now on the campaign.
And Brandon, nowadays your leader's usually closer to 5,000 yards on the year, but still, 3,000 yards, a good season.
Now he's going to step up and run. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up second.
He was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. They'll set up to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. It's complete. Give him 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
Well, this defense for the Niners, they were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And it's knocked away and incomplete. He has been nearly impossible to throw on all year long. If it was me, I'd say you could go ahead and book that trip to the NFL Awards show in February. He's going to be Defensive Player of the Year, I think. What do you think?
I would agree with you. And the reason why? Because he takes the ball away. Because he gets to the football. The only way a defensive back ever wins this award is because they have a number of interceptions, takeaways, knockdowns, all of that. Add it all together, he's created a lot of big plays.
And that one not returnable. It's over the back line to the end zone, so that's going to be spotted up at the 30-yard line.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
Purdy from the gun.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Calling a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
Purdy looking to throw.
He's going to let this one go deep. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big play there for the Niners. 41 yards.
First and goal at the 5-yard line.
You see Purdy, he's going to shift him around. Purdy tosses out wide, complete.
Only a yard in the completion. It's second and goal.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
All right, rifles one, that's going to be intercepted. Picked by Julian Love.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Charles, I'm looking at you, and understandably, your mouth is wide open in disbelief. What were they thinking?
That's going to be one of the great mysteries, but I do know this. When they went out on offense, I will guarantee they told them, don't just make anticipatory throws. Make sure you see it before you throw it. Didn't happen here.
Trying to protect that lead, and now they gave it up. Oh, able to avoid him.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They are guarding against the upset.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Now Purdy.
That is incomplete.
The Niners at 8-6 now on the year. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Purdy will set up to throw it here.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Watkins.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20.
And the 49er first down.
Purdy now to throw off the play action.
Fights loose.
It's going to be a nice pickup, but he also takes a pretty good lick at the end of that one.
Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Once more, Purdy looking to throw.
Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco.
Isaac Guerendo.
An 11-yard touchdown.
And the Niners are once again back in front. Now the extra point up and good by Aubrey.
And the lead is now 14-10.
Seahawks 10.
So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
Ball at the 23, 2nd and 8.
Ready. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he'll just get rid of it.
One thing you always worry about when he breaks the pocket is he going to take off with it? That time, the pressure was starting to close in, and he's just got to throw this one away.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
An audible here to get a new look.
He's going to loft one deep left side here.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And the 49ers are going to take over at their own 28-yard line.
It's a turnover on down.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
Here's Purdy.
Connects with Kittle underneath. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Hey, let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him, because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
Looking sideline, and that's caught by Watkins. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Purdy.
Connects with Kittle underneath. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 37-yard line.
Purdy now to throw.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
They're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Out of the gun, Purdy. And he'll be held down at about the 30-yard line.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
And the 49er.
Throwing here, Purdy. A throw left side for Pearson is complete.
And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Shotgun now with Purdy.
And it's caught.
And he will cover up as he's touched down after a short gain.
2nd and goal from the 1.
At the 1-yard line.
Here's Guerrero.
Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal.
Back to throw. Purdy. Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. And the Seahawks will take over here just shy of the 30.
By the Seahawks. They'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And looking at this situation, Charles, you got more than a minute. You've got all 3 timeouts. Probably no need to play the...
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far.
And they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
Evident there that he learned his lesson from the last drive. No way he was going to force a throw that time. When nothing broke open, kept it, and ended up running for a 1st down himself.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Looking to throw. Purdy. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted.
Picked off by Boye Mafe. And the Seahawks are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
Let's go now.
A slim deficit here in a 1-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3 and take some momentum into the locker room.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the 1st half. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Over the middle, it's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Okay, ready?
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
19 sight, 19, 8, hold.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throw left side, complete to Cup. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Good work after the catch, gets him 15 and a 1st down.
Well, so far, little to no resistance by the defense on this drive alone. 3 passes, 3 completions, 3 1st downs. They're taking it to him, and it's paying off.
50, 60, big hit. Trap 60, trap 60. Mustang 19. 70 Ranger, 70 Ranger. Panther 11, Panther 11. 18, Pioneer.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He's got a man. That's caught left sideline. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Gain of 19 yards. 1st down,
19.
Seahawks.
Back. Go.
Back to throw again. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
These 2 teams, they met up in Seattle earlier in the year with the Seahawks coming away victorious. So a win here in Santa Clara would give them the season series.
Well, his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked up by Fred Warner. And the Niners are going to take possession here at their own 33.
Intercepted. The Niners take over 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
Final play of the half. Purdy.
Going deep here for Watkins. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break.
Michael Dixon to kick off for Seattle.
It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Here's Guerrero on first down.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
At the 32-yard line.
Now Purdy, he's going to change the look here.
2nd and 9 now. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
It's now 3rd down.
They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd.
Get set. Get set. Yellow.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same, because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
At the 30-yard line.
They're going to look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Back to throw here.
Now he'll tuck this and run.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Nick Bosa. That is one he will remember. It's sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Looking to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 10 more there and another first down.
There's another Seahawks first down. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Now a handoff running for the middle.
And maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line.
1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. A 24-yard touchdown.
And the Seahawks are an extra point away from evening this one up.
The kick is through the uprights to tie this game, but hang on a second. We do have a flag.
And they'll accept that penalty.
Michael Dixon, the kickoff for Seattle.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away.
And that one not returnable, not by a long stretch, over the back line of the end zone, so that's going to be spotted up at the 35-yard line.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line.
Play action, now Purdy. That's caught downfield by Kittle.
And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Back to throw, Purdy. That ball caught, Brandon Ayuk.
He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20.
And 22 more yards there and another first down.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they got to do a much better job of accounting for these.
And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Jordan Watkins with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the 49ers have moved out in front.
Aubrey good with the PAT.
And they will take a 7-point lead.
Seahawks 17.
So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away.
A solid stiff arm.
And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
Well, certainly they'd rather have the scenario they had last time out, Charles. Remember, they had the short field. They took it in the end zone. Now this is going to have to be a longer, more sustained drive if they want to get points.
Yeah, a little bit more of a quick strike opportunity last time by where they were on the field, and you're exactly right about that. But now, backed up a little bit. What's that old expression we love to use? Time to matriculate the ball down the field and try and do it again.
They'll set up to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
First and 10 at the 34-yard line.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And the Niners get there and bring him down. T.J. Watt in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Boy, tough spot here as they approach the line of scrimmage. A long way to go to try to pick up this first down. Oh, and that is incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. That's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up. Converged on his man and broke the play up.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away.
This is taken at the 15.
A good kick that time, but also a pretty good 15-yard return.
And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
They begin on the ground with Galindo.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
At the 36-yard line. A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's 2nd down and 5. Purdy looking to throw.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
2nd and goal from inside the 5.
Let's go now.
He'll try again, but he will go backwards as he stopped for a loss. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal.
They'll drop the throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll be 4th down. So on now comes the kicker. It's Jason Myers. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Myers' kick is good.
So kind of disappointing there. I mean, yes, they get the 3, but with starting field position like that, 3's not what you're banking on.
No, and you just have to wonder if you can afford to let chances like that continue to pass you by. You've got to find ways to get the ball into the end zone and put 6s on the scoreboard.
The Niners take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet.
Now he breaks free in the middle of the field. Touchdown, 49ers! Isaac Guerendo. That's rushing touchdown number 20 on the year. And the 49ers are closing in on a third straight win as they widen the gap further here in the fourth quarter. Well, the extra point up and good by Aubrey. And that pushes the lead up to 11.
Seahawks 20.
So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
Take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the fourth quarter. This drive becomes very critical. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. Second and 6. That'll be caught by Cobb. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down.
A gain of 9 yards. And the Seahawks first down.
And here's a handoff out of the gun. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. They'll look to throw here on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
I'd give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
Open man is Barner, the tight end. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 38-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Here we go.
They'll set up a throw. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues.
First down, Seattle.
19 Chargers.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. They go play action here on first down. This will be caught just inside the 10. And the Seahawks are looking at first and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense got to find a better way of accounting for the short.
And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Seahawks have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a one-score game here in the fourth.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
Whistles now in a timeout defensively.
So a wise move as they'll use the first of their timeouts to force one more play before the 2-minute warning. All right, now the Seahawks face a big 2-point conversion attempt. They're going to keep it on the ground. But he will not get in here. He stopped up short of the goal line, and this will remain a 5-point game. So time here for the onside kick and then the 2-minute warning. And the 49er hands team does its job.
And he's going to be knocked down hard at the end of that one.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game.
We got to have two hands on the football here as they run on first down. And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
Points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line.
Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Outside. 18. What's up?
Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
And Purdy, he's going to shift them around into something else.
That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down.
Purdy going to give it to Garindo.
And he's across for a touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it. He's got the hat trick, 3 touchdowns now.
Did you throw yours? Did you throw yours out?
I didn't have mine. You've got yours. You've got one of those Abe Lincoln hats.
Yeah, and that stovepipe is going right out there for him. A nose for the end zone. Third time today. I think he deserves a tip of the cap.
Uh-oh, flag comes out here. This is going to be roughing the kicker.
When you're going back there on the kick block, you've got to go to the right point. That didn't happen. Ran into the kicker. The penalty flag had to come out.
So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Here's first and 10.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, you know they're going to look his way in the 2-minute drill, but that time he was blanketed, and they forced the incompletion. May need some teammates to step up in this spot.
And second and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability though to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game.
Here's first down.
They'll look to throw again. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this one is incomplete.
I've got a good friend in football, always talks about predictive history. He's got one of their 2 touchdowns. You can understand why they tried to find him again. Weren't able to connect, but the thought, that was good.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Looking left sideline, it's complete. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here.
They'll look to throw here. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
With no timeouts left, that's a dangerous proposition. Work in the middle of the field. Fortunately for them, that one fell incomplete.
They'll come up now on 2nd down.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left.
And let's face it, this defense has had its share of struggles all game long, and they know that they can put it all behind them if they defend well here in the 2-minute drill. Excellent coverage right there to force the incompletion.
Is going to officially draw the curtain on this one as the last throw intercepted.